We have come to the end of our Vlogmas candy week, and I'm going to end with my family's absolute favorite candy, and you're going to be like, no way. Peppermint Patties. They get a box of Junior Mints in their stocking, but leading up to Christmas, they've got to have Peppermint Patties in a candy dish. And that's what we're about to make. And I will be using a muffin tin for my chocolate. I have found that's the easiest way to get these patties coated. Now this is gonna go really quick. I hope you guys have enjoyed the whole week. I've enjoyed making all these goodies. But guys, it's not Christmas for my family unless we have peppermint patties, homemade peppermint patties. So I hope you enjoy this easy recipe, kid-friendly, except for the hot chocolate that we're gonna melt. Other than that, kid-friendly. Now I've gotta work fast because I don't buy marshmallow fluff. I actually melt my marshmallows. But in this bowl, I have a tablespoon of room temperature butter. Oops, sorry guys. And I've got to add 1/4 of a cup of melted marshmallow, or you can use marshmallow fluff, but that's 1/4 of a cup. Now this is where you have to control your peppermint flavor, especially if you're using these oils. They're very strong. And I'm gonna go in with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 12 drops. Perfect. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And we need a teaspoon of vanilla. I am using clear vanilla. And you need a teaspoon. And we're gonna get this blended smooth. Just like that, and I'm adding a tablespoon of water. Blend again. We have 2 cups of powdered sugar. We may need to add a little bit more. We're looking for a certain consistency. So I'm gonna add a little at a time. That's 2 cups we're using. And I'm gonna blend. So you wanna do a little at a time or it's gonna go everywhere. I ended up adding 6 tablespoons of powdered sugar to get the consistency I'm looking for. And I'm not gonna make mine too large, but I'm gonna show you the consistency that you need. If it doesn't roll into a ball smoothly and it crumbles, you didn't measure your marshmallow out. So you need 1/4 of a cup of marshmallow fluff, or you can melt your own marshmallows. But I don't want my balls too big. Just like that. And they're not sticking to my hands. If they were sticky, add more powdered sugar. And that's where I was. That's why I added the 6 tablespoons. Now, I'm just gonna mash to the size circle that I'm looking for. And I need them all uniform. And I'm not the best. That's why I love the chocolate, because it hides the imperfections. And you don't want them too thin. But you can make them thin. Okay, perfect. Because one of these are so rich. Just like that. See? I'm going to set them on the parchment paper. We'll do one more. And it's hard to judge to make them the right size, so I just kind of play with it. Like I said, this is the step that kids could do. That looks about right. Perfect. Hey, I got that one right. Normally I have to pinch off or add. So I'm going to get all of these mashed. Oh yeah, perfect peppermint. I ended up with 21 in the freezer for 1 hour. Now, once I get them in the freezer, I'm going to show you what we're going to set them in and why. They're in the freezer for 1 hour. My favorite size is the mini muffin tins, but I'm out of the liners. So I have to go to the large tins because that's what liners I have. Now, if you don't have that exact 1/4 cup of marshmallow fluff, that's going to make a difference. So you really need to lean on the side of heavy 1/4. Not much over, but a heavy 1/4. And it's going to be the perfect consistency. But I'm going to tell you what I did last year. If you don't want to go through the trouble of making the peppermint patties, we're going to melt chocolate. Now, I use melt. I don't use chocolate chips. It can seize on you. It hardens faster when you're trying to dip it. I like to use the melts. And even though the melts has like an oil base, like a Crisco in it, I do come back and I normally add about a teaspoon of coconut oil, the congealed in a jar, just to ensure. But when we melt, I'll show you that. But last year I had major hand surgery, so I wasn't able to make all these goodies. But I still wanted them to have their peppermint candy. Guys, I took the mint Oreos and I used them in place of the peppermint patties we just made. And you can use, if you don't like mint, you can use the Christmas color Oreos, the green and the reds. Now, in my opinion, they get a little tight. So who doesn't like more chocolate? You would use your regular size muffin tins, but you can use the Oreo cookies in place of what we just made. Now, someone told me they make peanut butter Oreo cookies now. I don't know, but if you want that peanut butter chocolate, there you go. So the possibilities are endless. Exchanging the peppermint patty that we just made, exchange it for a mini Oreo cookie, a Christmas color Oreo, a peanut butter. I understand there's multiple flavors and you can choose that. But the key is how we are going to dip them. And we're not dipping them. We're pouring in our tins. So in an hour, I'll have the melts ready on the stove with our makeshift double boiler. You can do it in a microwave. My microwave has a high temp and I don't know how to adjust it. So it's the stove for me. But guys, this is a fun candy recipe to make with your kids, your grandkids, or just all your girlfriends. Guys, it's 6 o'clock at night. Here is the coconut oil that I'm using. I've got my makeshift double boiler. Make sure the bottom of your pot is not touching the water. And I've got a teaspoon of that coconut oil. This is a 10-ounce bag of melts. I'm hoping that's enough. If not, I do have another bag. Not a big deal because I can always put our peppermint patties back in the freezer till I melt some more chocolate. I'm sitting on a number 8 and I'm just gonna get this melted because we're gonna kind of work fast. I've got it poured up in this measuring cup and I'll start back here where y'all can see. And you have to work kind of fast. And you're gonna press your coconut in. Not coconut, your peppermint in. Grab some more chocolate out of that. And you're just gonna lightly cover what's exposed. They are done, and it's best to put these in the refrigerator 15 to 20 minutes max, then just set them on the counter because you're just wanting this chocolate to harden. You don't want to take them out of the wrapper for a couple of hours. You really want it to set. So yeah, this is my version of peppermint patties. Y'all, it is 8:40 p.m. And this old gal, I apologize, I have my PJs on. But we had to end the video. I was like, oh, they're still sitting on the counter getting happy. And I wanted to show y'all, for instance, this is one of my thick ones. You really want a small layer. And when you mash that cookie or peppermint patty, mash it pretty tight to get as much chocolate that you first pour over it so you don't add as much. You don't want them thick. It went thick. Now, I'm only going to show y'all what it looks like because I don't want to eat this late at night. And then I'm just going to put it back in its paper. But look how cute. I hope I can break it with my hands and not a knife. I kind of got what they call jiggy with the chocolate, but it's okay. It's been, what, 2 years now? 2 years or 3 Christmases? 2 or 3 since I made these. Remember, I cheated with the Oreos last year, but here we go. And I hope my hands can't do it. Hang on, I've got to cut this. Guys, I'm proud that my hands lasted. It's been a struggle for a couple of days, but I made it happen. And here we go. Peppermint patty. Just a little piece, right? It's creamy. As soon as you bite it, I nailed it on the peppermint. Y'all, I need some more. I told you it was rich, didn't I? So you don't need to make an abundance. But if you can do the little muffin tins, I had to wipe my hands. If you can do the little muffin tins, that's what I would do. But I just didn't have the little liners. But guys, this is, I'm sorry, but homemade is the way to go. But don't make them as thick. I got a little heavy-handed when I was pouring. You really want that thin layer, and you really need your peppermint a little bit thinner than what my hands could mash. But it's a no-fail. I mean, literally, y'all saw how to do it. It's a no-fail recipe. So this ends our Vlogmas week of candy making. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it with y'all. And I'm tired. I've got a lot to do. Tomorrow is Friday, which you're seeing this on Friday. And Saturday, because we have our Christmas party on Sunday here. So a lot happening. But I wish each and every one of you a wonderful, blessed weekend. And Buddy and I will see y'all Monday.